seconds, as opposed to a New York second. Welcome, my darlings, to episode 3 of Blood Bonding, the postseason interview show for ATL by night. As you can see, I have on the couch with me our lovely storyteller, Ellie Collins, and Dustin Fletcher, who plays Cyrus. Obviously, we are 6 feet away from each other, as the CDC recommends. We're just really tall, so it looks like less distance. So how are you guys doing tonight?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Quarantine's going well. I've gotten through so much Borderlands 3.
Have y'all figured out your favorite hand-washing songs? Because I've seen so many of them.
I think my favorite one, I saw a meme around, it's the Hero of Canton. Like,
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw that
Jane
one.
singing it, you know. But yeah, no, I usually just count to 20. That's what I do.
I feel like I'll get less distracted that way.
Mine is the chorus from Mr. Brightside.
I was so called out. Like, I saw that, and that's why I immediately sent it to you. I'm like, I'm called out right now.
Yeah, it's one of those, it's easy for me to go through it in my head, but also, like, I have OCD, and part of my OCD is hand washing, so I'm just like, my time to shine.
I thought you were
time
gonna
has come!
I thought you were going to tell me part of your OCD is Mr. Brightside, in which case, isn't that in our entire generation?
That's just being an
Like,
emo kid in the early 2000s.
You hear, I'm coming out of my cage. Are you now? I'm ready. I was trained for this.
I'm here for this.
So moving into questions as well, because we have questions.
Yes.
We can't just talk for an hour. I mean, we can.
We can.
We're capable of it.
We can. Sounds good. I will go ahead and preface this by apologizing, because a lot of my answers are probably gonna be find out later.
Same.
See, I was told to wear a scarf,
Uh-huh.
and so that's really what you should be apologizing for. The fans were expecting a scarf.
You know,
I was expecting a scarf.
I know.
I came prepared.
I'm
Do
so
we need
happy.
a trade?
No, I'm
Like,
good.
it's-
I'm good.
I realize it's touched my skin, so we'd immediately have to hand sanitize. Like, as soon as we did it.
Nope, can't take that risk.
So for both of you, I know you've been playing Vampire the Masquerade for like 18 years.
Mm-hmm. Oh, well, it's I've been playing for 20 years, 16 years as the same character.
Oh, okay, got it. I must have misunderstood that. But I know you played D&D. I know you've played a couple of other systems. So what other systems have you played?
I've played everything in the World of Darkness at least once. I did Werewolf for a couple of years. I've done a little bit of Mage and Changeling, a little bit of Wraith. I've done D&D, Pathfinder, most things from the Besom system, the Big Eyes Small Mouth system that was really popular
right.
for weebs like me.
You mentioned like magical girl type character, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I did a big campaign for Star Wars where I was essentially Paris Hilton was a Twi'lek and a pilot.
Is it the SRD from like, I want to say the early 2000s? Because that was
Saga
so
edition.
good.
Yep.
I loved that SRD. And then what other? I know you played VTM before. I know you played
have.
D&D before because
I
you
have.
play on You played D4.
D4, yeah.
Yeah.
I am one of the co-DMs of D4.
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of tabletop RPGs that I haven't at least tried. I'm a huge tabletop role-playing game fanatic. I love trying new systems, whether it's D&D, Vampire the Masquerade, the Fate Core system, the Cypher system. Pretty much as long as there's a rule book, or even sometimes there's not a rule book and we just want to sit around and role play, I'm usually interested in it.
Like the old Gaia Online RPs that people
absolutely.
had.
Old text prompts.
There's like 8 people in the audience of like 40 that are going, I'm sorry, you were on Gaia. Before the Gaia economy crashed.
Yeah, but I started. I played old school World of Darkness. Actually played in a campaign that was like kind of encompassing of all of the World of Darkness editions. It kind of
that's
focused
fun.
everyone. I actually played a demon, which was a lot of fun, as I was a big into the fallen angel aspect of demon, which was a lot of fun. We had a crazy motley crew of a party, including a hunter, which I convinced that I was an actual angel and totally had him like in my pocket. It was a lot of fun.
God.
It was a crazy game. It was total World of Darkness.
So what you're saying is you love secrets and lying to your fellow players.
I mean, I'm a DM, so no.
Yeah, that's DM currency.
I mean, I have a mug that says "Players' Tears" on it, so I mean.
Oh, that's great! I need to get one of those.
I need one of those now after making a player cry during a game recently.
I'm so proud of you. It makes me so happy.
Oh, that's right. I missed that one. I wasn't there for that one. But I should.
That's what happens when a player finds out that their mother is imprisoned by Fierna.
Yup. Though, admittedly, I guessed that like over a month ago to his face, and he looked at me like, "What do you know?" And I'm like, "I know shit, but now I do." This is why you shouldn't react. So, obviously, we've got tabletops. I know I asked you this before we started joking about Fortnite, but the fans do want to know what Hex's favorite Fortnite character or skin is.
We looked this up before we started. It's the Cuddle Team.
Cuddle Master.
Whatever. The pink bear.
King Cuddle Master, Cuddle Master King, something like that.
Whatever it is, it's the pink bear skin.
Yeah.
That's her favorite. Because and there is a reason. It's because Hex, even though she loves her punk aesthetic, she's still a little insecure about being a Nosferatu. So she likes characters that wear masks.
So what you're saying is the Reptars, not Reptar, wrong thing. The T-Rexes that go around Dragon Con.
Yeah.
Are all Nosferatu. I don't know why Reptar is what
I mean, it's a dinosaur.
It's a dinosaur.
Hex does have an inflatable T-Rex costume.
If there is an
Not
inflatable Reptar costume, I now want
There
it,
is
though.
one.
There is.
I need that in my life.
But yeah, Hex very much, in pretty much any video game she plays, her character has some kind of mask, or she doesn't activate the option to turn off helmet.
Okay, that's actually kind of interesting, because it didn't... I remember the art you gave for Hex, and it didn't look like she had too many of the inhuman features that usually come with
But
being
she
a
looks
Nos.
very different than from when she was sired.
Oh, okay, got it. So that was before she was embraced.
Mm-hmm.
Got it, I understand now. And then... We've already brought this up. So did you know when you chose a scarf for your episode 1 outfit, you knew this was coming? The impact you would have on the entire canon.
I knew I always wanted a scarf to be a part of his wardrobe.
So it was intentional. That wasn't just...
It was intentional to be a part of it, as an aspect of his, basically the Banu Haqim aspect of the Middle Eastern chemise. I think it's chemise is the word I'm looking for.
I think so.
It's the tactical scarf style, and I wanted that. I did not know that it would be fixated on, and it would be like what the fans were like. He is the scarf guy, and I was like, hey, you know what?
Or just yelling scarf.
Or just it's become a thing, and I love it so much. I find it so amusing and entertaining, and anytime that they bring it up, or the scarf memes, or like the scarf pictures,
we're gonna have to make you like a little scarf plushie with little eyes.
Exactly, that's all you see. I think my favorite was when they were like started talking about like scarf holsters and like tactical scarves.
Scarves.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't wear my tactical scarf tonight. I didn't think I would be able to coordinate an outfit with it.
It's all good.
I'll be honest though, whenever they mention the tactical scarves, I always think of the rave hats with the
little pockets. Yeah, it's gonna be fun, and I mean, who knows? Maybe it's for a reason. I mean, it's only a matter of time before he strangles someone with a scarf. I mean,
just bestially fail again and strangle this one and then eat their heart.
Of course, like you do.
So no, if you get a critical success, I'm gonna make it happen.
Sweet, I love it. Let's do it.
So I know that the bestial failure was not expected this early in the campaign.
Oh God, no!
It took everyone by surprise. Like not just you, but also the audience.
Yeah, when he described what he did, it immediately clicked in my brain what had happened, and rewatching the episode, because I rewatched to see the wonderful fan comments.
Yeah.
And rewatching it, I saw my face just go like, oh no.
Everyone's face like I saw, because you tend to stay in character at the table, but I saw your eyes go wide real quick where you're like, oh shit.
It's like, well, that happened. Time to change the narrative. But that's the whole reason why I love dice games, and the dice have such an impact on the story and can change the narrative in such a drastic and hard way. It's why I love playing them and using that aspect, because I mean, who knows what would happen if where the story would have gone had that not have happened, and Cyrus had not committed diablerie, and where it would have gone.
I had a plan and everything, and I just scrolled right past the entire Catherine page, and just went to the next page.
Nope.
Like, and this is gone.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't have character sheets I can rip in half slowly for dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Or like the one that I showed you from Reddit where they put like a little paper rose on it and then put it in the paper shredder.
Yep.
Yeah, it happens. His personality is, as people have been able to see, he's very, very dry. He's very straightforward. He doesn't have a lot of emotion. The fact that he committed diablerie to him is just like, okay, that's what happened. It's the job. In a sense, he wasn't in the wrong in his eyes.
Well, for the Convention of Thorns, you weren't in the wrong.
Still in the right of the Masquerade and with the Camarilla. And so, was it exactly what I was planning to do? Nope. Is it where it went? Yep. And I'm so glad it did, because I love the spiral of story that has come off of it.
Oh, yeah. The entire... everything that happened with you guys following that. Like, I had to delete an entire chapter to rewrite it, and I loved everything that it changed, because you guys were going to be meeting with your primogen after it, regardless of what happened, but it changed all of the conversations. It changed all the tones of the conversation. It changed what happened to everyone in between.
And with Melisande being absent that episode, I know that I don't want to focus too much on Thomasina and Melisande since we had that talk last week. It changed how that interaction even developed, because with Melisande being absent, she's got a whole other set of emotions to deal with.
And I that's why I like tabletop, because of that level of unexpectedness. And with the storyteller system, we have so much more freedom to kind of mold and shape the story around those random moments. And like I enjoy getting to delete something, because y'all did something wild, and figure out how I'm going to deal with it. How are the primogen going to react? How is the world around them going to react? Everything with Tilly was like, during the end of the episode, like, it hit me, because I knew the entire time that Tilly was inside Catherine's mind.
Yeah, you had that planned from the beginning, I
so
think.
Tilly was in there the whole time, and I knew that was coming, and the second that the episode ended, it hit me really hard what Tilly just experienced.
Yeah.
And so that was wonderful, like, writing fuel, because I was just like, oh my god, she thinks she's on fire.
It was entertaining.
Oh yeah, it was an incredibly well done moment, and I think it's there's always that moment of feeling each other out for the first few sessions of any tabletop game, and I think at that point y'all really solidified as a coterie, but also as players at the same table, that y'all were suddenly, you fucked up together. Not just it's one thing to succeed together; it's a whole other thing entirely to fail together.
I mean, I wouldn't call it a failure.
I mean. I would. But that's because it's
Catherine would call it a failure.
Catherine wouldn't call it anything. She's dead.
It's how it played out.
That's why I love the fan comment of, like, it's really sinking in that they nerfed a preschool teacher.
Yeah.
I lost it. I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes and what happens next season. I'm very excited to reveal more about his personality and his past. There's so much more to him than just black and white.
And on that, one of our fans did actually have an interesting question, which I have written down. There we go. So prior to Anton telling him, did Cyrus know that his blood red as caitiff?
You're just gonna have to wait and find out. I know. So,
it's such an easy yes or no question.
It is, but it's so much more fun to make them wait.
That's true. It
is a difficult yes or no question.
It is a very difficult yes or no question. There are aspects of that I assure you will come out next season.
Got it. So it sounds like we have some theories for next season. So without necessarily giving anything away that you don't want to give away, what are your theories will also be interesting, but what are your theories on what will happen next season?
Obviously there's a lot going on with the Atlanta Camarilla itself, and its impact on what's going to happen after this Masquerade event. But what I'm more looking forward to next season is really solidifying the coterie, because there's so much potential of story within the coterie itself. We've already seen a little bit of like Melisande and Cyrus butting heads. I am surprised that she didn't attack me. I wanted her to throw down on me. I even said, like, after we finished the finale, I was like, man, I thought you were gonna be a bit more aggressive. And
Mel and Aaron are the two people I want to see lose control.
Oh man.
And so I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, and if it does spiral or if it goes a different path, and kind of seeing where that goes, and kind of seeing the, you know, where Cyrus fits into this coterie, because right now he's very much not in the coterie. He's very much on the edge, kind of looking in, and I'm excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm most looking forward to next season. It's not necessarily a theory, but stuff that I'm excited for.
No, there's a couple of theories kind of sprinkled through there with how you feel about it. What are your theories, without necessarily giving away story points?
Let me see. For the things that are coming, I am fully expecting this coterie to fuck it up.
And every season on a down note.
Well, no, largely because one of the big things with Vampire the Masquerade is the social combat aspect, of which none of this coterie is very heavily versed in except Mel. Mel's the only one really with experience.
About Cyrus is totally social combative. So many dots and so.
I don't know that socially combative is the same as being good at social combat.
But we're going to be delving into a lot of politics, as evident with what Talbot pulled in the finale.
Wee woo, wee woo.
Wee woo, wee woo. And so I think the politics of it is going to be difficult for them to navigate. But my big anticipation, I will say codedly, is I am anticipated to see what everyone's final choice is in the finale of season 2.
Ooh.
Because everyone will have a choice to make.
That's an interesting...
We'll see if we get to that choice, depending on what we do.
And Ellie has to delete another chapter.
Oh no,
Your choice has been removed.
Trust me, I now have contingency plans for you all. This choice is happening.
And so one of the fans had asked a funny question, and I don't think it necessarily applies to all of them, but they asked the same question they asked of Anton and Aaron. So out of Riggs and Murtaugh, which one of you, as people, are which? Because clearly we can't play off one character, and because you are Riggs, Murtaugh, and the entire cast.
And the whole cast
Me
of
as a
Lethal
person
Weapon.
or my character?
I think you as
like our friendship.
or both. Give either, out of your friendship, which one of you is Riggs, which one of you is Murtaugh?
I'm probably Riggs.
Yeah. Yeah.
The sight.
Yeah.
The resigned. Yeah. That's accurate.
Fair.
All right, and then we have some more serious questions. This was a good one that I really liked that Aaron had asked in the Discord chat. So you first, because I feel like it's going to be faster, how have you had to adjust your character as the seasons developed?
Not a lot, because of how kind of narrow-minded he is at this current point in his life. His answers are very much, or the way he acts and his personality is pretty straightforward, even after everything that's happened. I mean, I am glad that I wasn't there for the Tilly thing, because I know that was a turning point for a lot of them. And if Cyrus was there, it may have gone a different route, because his in Cyrus's mind, she fucked up.
Yeah,
she's the reason.
That's why Dot wouldn't let you go.
She's the reason in Cyrus's mind. Like if he was there, because I was thinking about it as I was watching it, like transpire, it's like, you know, she had intel that she did not give us.
Yeah.
The reason she's dead is your fault, and you deserve the punishment that you were given right now.
Oh,
That's why Dot didn't let you go.
Yeah.
Dot knew that would have been your response.
And it's fair. I mean, and you know.
Yeah, in character, like you as a person, you're like, oh, I feel for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But like in character, it's like, nope.
Yeah.
That's what's fun about playing characters that are kind of that level of asshole.
Mm-hmm. And I will say that I'm really looking forward to the point where I can shift his personality.
Yeah.
Because it's possible.
Where you have that like catalyzing moment that.
I'm very looking. I hope it comes up before he dies.
It
I have notes.
when Melly attacks him in episode 1 of season 2.
We'll see.
And then I know you've had to shift a couple characters, Tilly being one.
Yeah,
like how
Tilly
you
became
had
a lot
to,
more tragic.
Yeah. You had to adjust some of your NPCs in response to the coterie.
Proctor and Tilly's relationship came out much earlier because I needed a vessel to get them to see what had happened with Tilly. Because Proctor has been pretty much... She went out for cigarettes and the Tremere haven't seen her since. And so she's been a very absent primogen for reasons that will come out later. And so she's kind of had to shift out of why she was an absent primogen because the situation with Tilly is something that she can't ignore. Mm-hmm. So Proctor's already gone through a bit of her transformation that I didn't expect to happen early. Dot became a lot more warm. She was a lot cooler. Falcon has really, because of the things that have happened, Falcon has gotten much more full of anxiety. The Primogen have all kind of shifted from who they were originally because of the Catherine situation. Yeah. The Catherine situation was such a shock. And then, because they've all been in the background dealing with Talbot as we all saw him. And so this was something, the Shepherds had kind of been a set it and forget it thing. Right. Where they were like, we just send them out, we deal with them, they're doing good. Okay, we still got to deal with Talbot being as he's being right now. And you had mentioned that you had expected them to save Catherine and bring her into the Camarilla. Yes. Not to tear her heart out and eat it. Yeah. Well, and there's story there that is not gone. There's story there for the Catherine situation, I will codedly say. There's a lot more there. Situation sounds like a PS4 game. Yeah. It's the sequel to Catherine. That's what I was thinking. But yeah, it's all of the Primogen. That was a very inciting incident for their personalities to change. Tabitha got a lot more warm. Tabitha's been very much an authoritarian character, being a Ventru. And her favoritism of Thomasina came out much quicker. Yeah. Because she does have favoritism towards Thomasina, and she's been actively trying to ignore that. But then when this happened and she had to take Thomasina in... and also defend her actions. Yeah, and defend her actions. And not a lot of Ventru feel that she would have done the same for them. So... And that's what I was wondering as a follow-up is, what are there characters who have changed in the background that you haven't necessarily brought out to play? Oh, yeah. Probably the biggest change that's going to happen is Alpha. Yes. That's coming. Yes. Everything that happened with Talbot has very much changed Alpha. And now we have a Guru in the season. Now, are we planning to have more from some of the other systems, or will we just have to wait to find out? If that one you will have to wait to find out. Their story there was Sunny. Sunny will be coming back. But yeah, there's a whole thing there. We have a lot of guest stars lined up that I can't talk about. Ooh, that's exciting. And then let's see, what's one of the other... Ooh, this one's a good one. I feel like I'm not going to get the answer I want. So, Cyrus, what is your relationship with your sire?
You just have to wait and find out. I know.
This is the... I do not recall.
Unfortunately, that is something that will have to come out on and
that's fair. I always mention it's like you can say it on the show, or you can wait to let it come out at the table. Nope. It's up.
I like things to be naturally learned, because even if I talk about it here and it happens on the show, that moment of
oh
shit, or just like that the pure emotion that comes from the reveal.
Yeah, like the Sunny moment was a huge reveal for everyone at the table.
I hid that from Aaron for about a month.
I'm aware because we talked with him about it on the first episode. We're like, so did you know that? Because as I've mentioned, and I don't know if you are aware of this, you probably talked about it. Abby's also in our Monday night D&D game.
So he was seeing her every Monday with no idea that she was coming in.
Awesome, that's great. I love it.
And that's what I try to do to y'all, like not just to the audience, but to y'all. If there's something that's going to be a big reveal, I'm gonna hide it from you.
Please do. Yeah, I want that. I want those natural moments to show up in that moment.
Yeah.
And because that reaction is going to be so much more real.
Yeah.
If we don't know it ahead of time.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. That's hugely true.
That's why stuff like Elijah didn't come out until the coterie pressed Elijah about him watching over the house, and Mel kept pushing it, and that was what finally made Elijah say, I am the thin-blood primogen. You know, he had to reveal that he is the thin-blood primogen because thin-bloods are still not accepted.
Right.
So, you know, and then that became an oh shit moment, even for me, as I realized how much she was pushing him, that Elijah is going to have to tell her something.
To just get her to stop.
Yeah, he's going to have to tell her something to assure her that he's taking care of the house. Mm-hmm. So he had to tell her it's still in the hands of a primogen.
Like, just stop asking questions. And then, so that sort of leads into the next one is, I know you and I have talked about this, because as soon as I saw it in the chat, I had my own theories. Which NPC do you, for lack of a better word, vibe with the most? Which one do you think has the most you in it?
The one with the most me in it, well, there's the one that I hate to admit has the most me in it, and the one that I willingly admit. Tilly is a lot of what I hate to admit about myself. And then Proctor is the one that I will admit is a lot more like myself.
You have two primogens inside you.
You have two primogens inside of you fighting.
Tilly's just like you because you are a Malkavian. Let's just be honest.
I mean,
I know.
Well, no, Tilly embodies a lot of. I came to claim Malkavian after being diagnosed with OCD, and so I wanted the Malkavian primogen to have a lot of my OCD tics.
Yeah.
Just because that was what healed me and brought me into Vampire the Masquerade. So Tilly is a lot of the worst parts of me personified as a person. And Proctor, for when you get to her opening up more, Proctor is actually a lot more like me.
Yeah, and I know you and I have talked about it a little bit, but I remember when immediately after the first episode, sorry if that was loud, immediately after the first episode, I messaged you and I was like, so Tilly, huh?
Yep.
Like,
nice.
And then Dot is just who I would be if I had the ability to, I almost spoiled something, have the ability to have the look that she does.
Oh my god, right?
If I had the ability to look like Dot, it would happen.
If I had the ability to look like that, I'd look like that every day. I just
Dot is goals.
Absolutely. And then, so there's sort of some other good ones that we've gotten. Ooh. So I think we already have the answer to this, but what are Cyrus's thoughts on diablerie?
Oh, he's fine with it. I mean, he's a Banu Haqim. It's part of their culture. There is a lot of the Banu Haqim that are getting away from it, but I mean, that's just... He's stated, I can say because he has stated that he follows the path of blood, and part of that mindset is to literally diablerize the sin of Canaanites.
Okay.
And so that is what he is an assassin. It's what he does.
And Dot took that risk hiring him.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That's a big ol' risk.
She knows.
She hired a killer. Whoops.
Mm-hmm.
And so do you see him doing that in 5 years? This is sort of kind of paraphrasing one of the questions that I think Peter sent in.
Depending on how things go, absolutely.
Where would you like to see Cyrus in 5 years?
I would like for more...
I almost said 5 years.
Me personally, I would like to see more of where he comes from and who he is be revealed.
Okay.
That's a good way to word that.
I feel like that should hopefully take less than 5 years.
We'll see.
We'll see.
Depends.
And then where do you see some of the NPCs in 5 years? Let's say just
I
pick
would like
a
to see
handful.
some of the Lost Childer work their way up into the court.
Yeah.
Because I think some of them have good potential, ones that haven't even come out yet.
Like the waitress from Vortex, whose
Yeah,
name I can't remember.
I would love to see her, Tracy with an I. You have to say the whole thing. But I would love to see Tracy, you know, like work her way up into the court. I would love to see Mouse work her way up into the court just because of all she's done and all she's gone through.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that was a heavy storyline.
I would like Olivia to come back alive and just be alive for 5 years.
And I believe
the Garu have sworn to go save her.
Okay.
So we'll find out if it happens.
Yeah, we'll find out if it works.
And the dice.
Yeah. But there is a secret that should come out in season 2, most likely.
It's okay. You can whisper it to me and all the fans.
No. But Olivia has a secret that, if it can come out, if it can be, it's a wound that needs to be bled. We'll say that.
Well,
and
Olivia's a Toreador, right?
Yes.
And so I feel like she has a lot of secrets. Just some of them happen to be hers.
Oh, yeah. But if Olivia can, I would like to see Olivia in 5 years healed from that. That's my big wish for the Primogen.
Is there like a vampire therapist that people can, or kindred therapist?
No, just eventually you lose enough humanity that you feel nothing anymore. That's vampire therapy.
That's millennials, baby.
Literally dead inside.
Yeah.
Ooh, this one was a good one. Now, obviously this isn't one for you, but is this Cyrus's first coterie?
I think I can say yes. I think it's obvious that
you'll find out at the table.
First time having friends.
Yeah, he is very much he's even said it. I'm not used to working with people. I'm not used to having.
Assassins are a very solo job.
He is very much by himself. He is 100% a lone wolf, if you will. Because I mean, he's making mistakes because he's not used to relying on other people.
Mm-hmm. Or trusting other people.
Or trusting other people. Yeah. So yes, this is his first coterie involvement, I guess.
And so Cyrus wasn't embraced in Atlanta, I have the feeling.
You're gonna have to wait and find out.
Can we get how old he is?
Nope.
Is it rude to ask his weight? Like, I don't know is it rude to ask a kindred their weight? Is that a thing? Blood type, favorite, like A positive? Like, do we get anything?
Wouldn't even reveal what Anton found on camera, so.
Yep. We specifically did that off camera for that reason.
Secrets are so fun.
I feel like... Oh, here we go. So other than Aaron, I think we've asked everyone else this question, so I'm going to modify it. Were any of the Primogens embraced in Atlanta? I feel like Olivia is probably a yes, because...
Olivia was absolutely embraced in Atlanta.
Olivia was embraced before Sherman's March to the Sea. Like,
yeah. That home is Olivia's home she was literally born in.
Not shocked.
Yeah, Olivia was born in that house and embraced in that house, and she intends to die in that house.
We'll see.
We'll see.
It's just
that's her intention.
That's her intention.
If we get her back.
She decided to put her life on DVR. It's paused right now.
Yes. Tilly was embraced in Atlanta. I can say that. Proctor,
is that also her house?
That is not
Tilly's
house. Tilly bought that house.
I know she's renovating it, but
Proctor was embraced in Atlanta, and that is her farm. That is Proctor's original farm.
Oh. And I think we've talked about vegetarian vampires, so is Proctor a vegetarian?
I can reveal that, yes. Proctor is, I think the type's called vegan. Proctor is a vegan. She only feeds from animals. And she has a symbiotic relationship with all her animals. So they're all taken care of.
She's got little
Before
moles.
she noms them.
She's got moles.
Yes. Yes. But, let's see. Tabitha was not. Tabitha was not embraced in Atlanta. She was embraced in Mexico City. Denise was embraced in Atlanta. I have to, like, go through the list in my head.
I'm watching you, like, read it in your brain.
Dot was embraced in Nashville.
Oh, that's got to be fun to come out.
Who am I forgetting? Falcon was embraced in Atlanta.
So we've got Olivia. Talbot, I'm guessing you won't reveal because...
Talbot was embraced in Atlanta.
Ooh, interesting.
I will say that.
So we don't get to find out how old he is or what generation. I'm sure that will come out later.
Absolutely. But no, Talbot was embraced in Atlanta. Who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting someone.
All right, so we've got Dot, Falcon, Olivia,
Denise,
Tabitha, Proctor. Oh, nope, that's...
I think that is all of them.
I think that's everybody.
Yeah, I think that's the entire council, yeah.
And Olivia's son Elijah was embraced in that house as well.
Okay, nice. Wait, son, so he's son in the embraced sense or son in the actual genetic sense, like she had him before she was embraced?
You'll find out.
Woo! Woo!
Saw that look coming.
Yeah. You'll find out. Everyone just knows to call him her son.
I mean...
And they do look alike. I made sure to point that out, that they both have sandy hair and they both have blue eyes.
Oh my goodness, I wish this was coffee and not water.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so tired. This week has been a lot.
I know.
I'm sure there's a Starbucks around the corner if you're willing to die.
I don't drink Starbucks, so...
Let's see.
I like good coffee. Ooh, shots fired.
I don't think we actually have any more fan questions, so I'm going to go ahead and toss it to you guys. Do you have any questions for each other?
We talk a lot.
Yeah. We talk so much behind the scenes.
Yeah. I'm also a storyteller, and so
Yep.
I think
I like
Ellie's mentioned that a few times.
I like that aspect. I mean, obviously, I've left cliffhangers on the show. I think the first one was I wrote you a note and said I've got an ending, and I just sent it.
Yeah,
that was.
You like passed it under the camera, and I just saw it was like, all right, we'll go to Cyrus at the end.
Yep.
And that was when you got the heart in the mail. Was that?
Yes,
that was that one.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And that.
I was trying to think of specific moments where
that's
Cyrus
why you'll
was the
actually
ending
see
moment.
me not interact in Cyrus's scenes a lot. I don't narrate Cyrus's scenes because we've already discussed it, and he's a storyteller.
Yeah.
And I don't want to accidentally reveal something. So
yeah,
Cyrus
there's
does
a
his
lot.
scenes.
There's a lot of reveals that I want to happen over time or narratively.
Yeah.
And I the heart was like when he's paid for a job, he gets paid in a heart and a vial of blood. And that's been revealed, and so I can say that, and that's what he...
That's really interesting. That's a very specific... Because we've seen you eat a heart, but we haven't seen you do anything with the vial of blood.
Nope.
So,
And
unless
Dot
you're doing, like,
understands that
thin
in
blood alchemy...
And
I'm just going to start throwing shit at the wall. We're going to see what sticks.
yeah,
We'll see what the fans
Dot is
start
fully aware
theorizing.
of that contract, and Dot always has payment for him.
And so it's...
Understood.
Yeah, and I can say that, like, obviously, that he does have a flaw of feeding. He has to eat flesh and hearts in order to do any form of stuff, which is really hard to play. It's really hard to get hungry. But it is, it's...
Just make sure you never eat dinner before coming to set. You only get... That way you'll just get hangry halfway through and be like, we need to finish this.
I get so hangry.
Someone just... Do you need a Snickers? No!
Yeah.
I'm in character.
Cyrus is pretty... He doesn't have a temper that much. At least none that has come out yet. Like, he's very much...
Very even-keeled about everything.
Yeah, like, he doesn't have a lot of emotions.
That's interesting. So... And I feel like I know the answer to this already. Does Cyrus have lower humanity than average, would you say?
I would say everyone has lower humanity than Aaron.
Yeah.
That's true. He's such a good boy.
Well, I mean, he has Diablo-rides someone on camera, and that does lower humanity, so...
Do you know what? Actually, that brings up an important point. So, Cyrus gave Aaron a gun, which reminds me of the TikTok that we quote all the time. What do you have there? A gun!
Yeah.
It's a knife!
Yeah.
No! That's literally what happened with Melissa. Like, what do you have there? Oh, it's a gun. No! But what really motivated Cyrus to trust Aaron with a gun?
Well, Cyrus sees him, he is a law enforcement officer. So even though he is forensics and he's the cleanup crew, he still has had firearms training. And I believe Aaron actually made it known that he served.
Yep, he mentioned the Gulf War.
Mentioned the Gulf War.
I think the second Gulf War, if I remember correctly, because of the timing.
He talked about his service weapon during the Gulf War, and so it was under those. And I mean, and the times were, I mean, the story itself, where it was going, is it was very dangerous, and you know, in
You can trust the former soldier.
In Cyrus's eyes, you know, you need protection, you need weapons, and he 100% was like, you're going in, like, what happens if someone who has a weapon comes after you? Your sharp fingernails
point a laser pointer at their chest from the car, and you
exactly
convince them you've got a sniper.
Oh my god, I was laughing and screaming at that scene.
That scene contained my favorite moment as a storyteller rewatching afterwards, because part of the fun of storytelling is like half of our fans are brand new to vampire, so they don't know the lexicon, and the other half are into it.
I'm not even that familiar with it. My brain was still thinking Second Inquisition.
Yeah, so the instant that the blood dealer said blank, I looked at the chat when I was rewatching it and just watched the chat like lose its mind. And that was my favorite moment, because it's such a tiny throwaway for people that don't know anything about the Second Inquisition, that he just casually uses the word blank.
He used a kindred slur, or a slur for kindred, didn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Kindred's, for the Second Inquisition refers to kindred as blank bodies.
If you've been watching our Coteries of New York playthrough that Ellie plays on Fridays at 10 a.m., there's an entire dictionary that's been going through all of this.
And on Mortal's Guide to Darkness, we will actually have a whole episode that is just dictionary class. The Lexicon of the Damned. I'm taking out a lot of the lesser used.
Are we going to make it like a sing-along, like how we had those little preposition songs in middle school?
God, no.
It'll be with, within, without, except it'll be like lick.
I hate that term.
That is
the one word in all of Vampire that I hate. I hate the word lick for kindred. I hate it.
It is, but it's a...
It is. It's...
Yeah, I think it's a slur, and it's you should hate it because it is a slur.
That's from me growing up Camarilla.
And Cyrus has actually used the licks.
Yes. Oh, I know.
Well, and also right now you shouldn't be licking anything.
Well, it's like I grew up Camarilla. The character I've played is 16 years of the same Malkavian. She worked her way up to Prince. And so every Anarch and Sabbat that she has ever met has just been the worst experience of her life. And so that has shaped me. Like, I made a meme that I think I shared on Twitter that was that, like, I love all my children equally, I don't care for Job. But it was, I love all the sex equally, I don't care for the Sabbat.
I mean, from what I hear, they're kind of...
Yeah.
They're like the frat house. They're Animal House, but kindred.
Yeah, and like my very first day as Prince, I beheaded a Ventru. Because in court, the day that they announced I was Prince, he was going around raging and saying that he refused to be ruled by a lunatic. And was repeatedly calling her a lunatic and repeatedly saying that, like, she needed to be overthrown. We needed to select a legitimate prince.
On the bright side, you secured your power very quickly.
Oh, yeah. I walked up to him, and the guy who played him was, like, 7 feet tall. He was so big. And me, I was easily 5 foot at the time. And I walked up and I said, "Sheriff, I would like this man's head, please." And he was like, "What the fuck? You can't do that." And I just, like, got on my little tiptoes and I went, "I know. That sounds like something a lunatic would do." And just let the sheriff take his head.
Amazing. Amazing.
I
love it.
It was my favorite moment of any game ever. And, like, every fucking bruja that was in that room was like, "Oh, shit."
Oh, no, I was going to rebel, but maybe I'll wait a little bit.
They were like, "Anarch or this prince?" Like, yeah.
We love it when heads roll.
And playing Prince as her was an extremely rewarding experience because I got to give back to the community that raised her, and we had new players coming in at the time. Aww. So I got to welcome in these new people.
I love new players because they're so fun. Because they'll always ask you they'll always ask you the craziest questions. They're like, "Hey, can I do this thing, and you're like, no one's done it before, so let's give it a shot.
Aaron did that to me.
Yeah.
He, hey, can I have some blood that's stored in some fruit gummies? Yeah, fuck it, let's do it. But you're gonna have to eat a whole big bag of them if you want to take down a hunger.
I imagine him just standing there with like his bag of gushers, just popping them every conversation.
Yeah,
just constantly.
I've told him he has to eat the little packets they come in. He has to eat like the equivalent of 4 of them to reduce a hunger.
Yeah. And then, oh god, I had another question and I totally forgot it. Well, that's good. That's useful.
That's good stuff.
I'll move on to my next question, which I do remember. So if someone wanted to find you on social media, what handles would they follow?
I am at Fletch on Twitter. That's pretty much...
Can you say that 5 times fast?
Fletch.
That was 4.
Fletch. I'm an artist. Math is not my forte. But no, at Fletch. And then, that's the best way to find me. I'm always on there, always posting stuff.
Yeah, and then I know you've got Ellie A. Collins.
Yeah, Ellie_A_Collins on Twitter, Instagram. I think that's all I pretty much use. It's just Twitter and Instagram. Ellie Acid, usually everywhere else like TikTok and Twitch.
Yeah.
Yes, I TikTok, I don't care. I have niche vampire humor on there.
There are a couple of really good vampire humor things. I think there was one where you did all the clans.
I do have one where I did a little preview of all the Primogen. I do random ones about clans. But yeah, it's... I have fun on TikTok, and it's a good quarantine hobby.
Oh my god. How are y'all handling the quarantine? Have you got enough toilet paper?
I'm great. I have so much time to write for my other show that I'm on, so that I literally have to write, and we custom build everything, like as far as maps and terrain go, and so I actually have time to do that.
And this is D4
It's
that
D4,
you were talking about. Now, what is the exact, because it's twitch.tv/D4...
No, we're...
Or are you on Rockman?
We are not. We're actually on the D&D Twitch channel, so it's
nice.
twitch.tv/D&D. But we are, you can find, that's on Twitter's D4D&D RPG.
When's the game?
It's Sundays at 7.
We're telling you to promote yourself.
I'm trying. I know. I'm so bad about this.
Promotion. It's a marketing thing.
Yes. Sundays at 7 p.m. on twitch.tv/D&D is when you can find us. It's a co-DM 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game.
Nice. So... I'm going to just switch because we have, I think, about 7 more minutes.
Okay.
What's your favorite D&D race? I remembered my question.
So I have 2, and that's Turtles and Loxodons.
Yeah.
I love to play a turtle. My favorite turtle character, she is a druid who has never left her house before. And so in her first...
Everyone loves Luli, let's be fair.
Oh no, this is for another campaign. I have her, and she's never left her house before.
Oh, this
and
is
she
got druid.
Yeah, they got overrun by vampires, and she used poison spray just like out of reflex of fear, and it killed them. She was like, "Oh God!" She's like, "I just used that on the weeds."
And I only use that for the dandelions. I don't know where that came from.
And then I have a Loxodon rogue. Who I love because she's a very big girl, but I rolled exceedingly well on her.
Nice.
So she is very Ocean's 11.
Nice.
And you're familiar with my Loxodon voices, but she
yeah.
she just walks up to like the rest of this group that's all like 2 feet shorter than her, and she's like,
all right, here's the deal.
How's everyone doing?
We're gonna go in
great?
that door upstairs. We're gonna take this necklace and get the fuck out.
Yeah.
and then I roll a nat 20 on stealth, and they're like, how?
How? That's funny.
Well, the dice aren't weighted. It's digital. And then your favorite race?
Halflings and humans.
Really?
Yeah, I love halflings, but
We are the 2 ends of the spectrum.
It's hard to give up that feat. And that, it's so hard.
You play variant human?
Yeah.
But have you ever played a turtle and gone in your shell? That's
I have played
amazing.
turtle. I have played every race.
I can't say I've done that.
I can't.
I'm a DM.
I'm playing a Triton now, and
I've PC'd at just about every race.
Yeah.
So.
I'm playing a Triton now in a campaign.
I do a lot of one shots. Like
yeah.
Devin, who's my co-DM on D4, he's also my roommate, and instead of playing video games, we'll just run 2-player co-op or
Yeah.
DM
Little one-shots.
one
Cooperative,
shots.
just two
Yeah.
characters. Yeah.
Yep. So we'll switch off being DM and
Oh, so y'all have a lot of practice with it. So that's
we
Y'all really are a two-headed monster.
we
though.
are we are very much
They're a Bydra?
we're very
Wait,
much
shit.
Jaeger pilots.
Yeah, Jaeger pilots is the better term.
like a Bydra
They're-
just sounds
I
like
mean-
a Bihydra.
Because when you first told me y'all were co-DMs, I was like, how does that work? Does one tell the story and the other do the math?
That's
And-
a lot of how
and then,
co-DMing works.
honestly-
But then watching you guys, it makes sense.
Yeah, we're very
That'd be if you and I did it. You
Yeah.
would tell the story and I'd just do the math. Like, oh yeah, I'm your
Yeah,
little
'cause-
accountant in the back.
I have dyscalculia. I'm bad with math.
yeah, we're very much 50-50 the whole way down the seam. And we it's just we ran
really
stories
cool.
at a LARP for 10 years, and so we're very used to playing off each
Yeah.
other. We're very much a yes and DM. The one
Yeah,
starts
and that's-
off something, and we don't really know where they're going. It's just like, all right, cool, yep, we'll build off of that. And
Yeah, and that's a skill in my opinion that you have to build. Like it takes a while to build that, especially with. It helps to have the same person to build it with, but if you're building that with other people as well. So my question that I remembered, and I know your answer because we've already talked about this, but if you were in the Vampire the Masquerade world, or maybe the world of darkness,
okay.
would you be a kindred or a changeling or a guru? And if you were, what clan would you be?
I would probably, if I was in, I would probably be a mage.
Okay.
Yeah, I called that.
Because I love magic. I love magic lore. I love everything
Yeah.
to do with magic. I am, like, if I was to class myself as a D&D character, I'm a sorcerer because I love the magic aspects, but I'm all charisma. So it has to be...
Yeah.
So if you were a D&D character in real life, you'd be a warlock.
No, I don't sell myself. I don't make deals. Yeah, that was for you.
Sorry, you're saying you're a bard? Is that what
No, it's sorcerer. I'm a sorcerer.
Yeah, you're absolutely a sorcerer. I'm clearly Malkavian, but that's born and bred into me because that's for when I found Vampire the Masquerade. That was such a turning point in my life, and having Clan Malkavian to define it and help me understand it made me turn my weaknesses into strengths in a way that I don't think I could get from any other clan. Secondarily, probably Toreador, because
Because secrets?
no, it's that art ho aesthetic. I will literally
Valid.
cry if a building has pretty architecture.
Valid.
I have seriously. I get pictures from so many people. They're like, saw this really beautiful building today and thought of you. I'm like, oh, thank you. Like,
I feel
and
like
all
people just
kinds.
send you pictures of like, this is pretty, I thought of you.
oh yeah, no, I
Or
get
like that sticker I should tagged you.
I got a picture the other day of somebody who was riding through their neighborhood and someone had built a Frank Lloyd Wright house in their neighborhood. And I was like, oh, thank you.
Was it Frank
thank
Lloyd
you.
Wright? Because like that'd be historic. I would.
No, it was like some couple that was like really into the aesthetic. And I was like,
nice.
I love this. And then I'll get a cathedral picture
So
2 hours later.
actually, which type of Frank Lloyd Wright house? Because I know that's...
It was very boxy and very glass.
Well, okay, so it was one of the big expensive
Yeah,
ones,
yeah.
not one of the... Because you know you made those little ones that were just
Yes.
modular and very utilitarian,
Yeah.
which
I love tiny houses also, which
Yeah.
is why the gangrels are like that, because I would love
Oh my
to have
God.
a compound where all my friends could have a tiny house and
Just
have
gangrels live
somewhere
in
safe
tiny
to stay.
houses?
Yep.
Yes, all
I
of
love that.
yeah, so Denise didn't really, I don't think I even explained it that well, just to round out the end of the show, because I know we're at time.
Yeah.
Denise lives in the main house, and the main house is where all of the gangrel hang out. But the entire grounds are full of tornado shelters, and then there are tiny homes built on top of the tornado shelter, so each gangrel can have their own personal home and not be stuck in a tornado shelter.
And their own personal bomb shelter for
Yeah.
if the FBI
Well,
comes
that's where they
through.
sleep.
Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Duh.
And it's up at Lake Lanier, so there's an expanse of land, plenty of room to run around.
Yeah. And hunt.
Yeah.
And with that, that is our time. We do want to remind you guys to please wash your hands. Try to avoid touching your face. Unlike
As I've
me,
done
I'm a
like
bad example.
I'm sure I've
17
done-
times just in this interview
We're
alone.
gonna wash our hands right after this,
Yeah.
I promise.
I literally wash my hands right before, and I will wash my hands after. I think the main thing keeping me from touching it is the makeup. It's
Yeah.
because I just don't want to mess up the eye makeup. I did a great job today. But please wash your hands. Please stay safe out there. Try not to go into big crowded spaces and try to keep yourselves healthy. Join us on Friday at 10 a.m. for Coteries of New York, and on Saturday at 10 a.m. for Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines for both of Ellie's playthroughs.
And on Tuesday at 8 p.m., our regular streaming time, we will be having a prologue for Season 2 brought to you by Night Studios.
And do we have a premiere date for Season 2 yet?
Yes, May 7th.
All right.
If you check our Instagram, I have a lovely Run the Jewels reference.
It's a beautiful poster. Like, that would make a great full-size room poster, honestly. Merch ideas.
Well, thank you guys again. So, yeah, check that out on Tuesday. That's brought to you by Night Studios. So, they were super cool in helping us put together that prologue.
Yeah, and thank you guys for joining us. We love you. Be safe. Be well. Go get tested if you have cold symptoms. And otherwise, stay home as much as you can. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.